The whole thing with the, the comedy thing again is in the beginning skit with Barack Obama. As hilarious as that is, and I'm a big fan of The Rock as well. He's only been on, he's only been president for 7 weeks, so let's not judge him. Let's give him a chance. Well, I look at it like this. It's like, he's never been president before, right? So it's like getting your driver's license. So he's only had his driver's license for 7 weeks, so let's give him a chance. Well, yeah, but I've already seen him go through a couple stop signs and a red light. He's not the best driver in the world there so far. I'm imagining he'll get better. But you want to be critical to someone when they're first beginning a new venture. You want to help them out as much as you can by criticizing them. That's what our government is founded on. Maybe 3 years down the road when he's really got it down, then we can back off and say, okay, you're doing a great job. I see no reason to be critical. But right now, every policy, you've gone against everything you said during your campaign, and you're twisting up the whole works of the country there. So got to be critical. 7, 8 weeks, doesn't matter, man. Just show me the money, right? Another thing you might want to consider is that in the government, what works really well for the post office, again, for profit, but look up a company called Amtrak. Heard of them? Ever ride on Amtrak? Heavily subsidized. Okay, they haven't turned a profit in 40 years. That's 40 years. So if you think subsidizing an industry is really going to help, I will throw Amtrak against your post office any day. And giving credit to the government for supermarkets having variety is just stupid. That makes no sense at all, Bill. I mean, how does that work? Because we have a country. I went to okay, versus India. Yeah, in Mumbai, yeah, they don't have the selection we have here, but they do actually. They just have a different kind of selection, maybe stuff you wouldn't want. So the supermarket thing is just way off it. Well, that's how I feel. And again, watch out for that comedy news blur that's used for some specific reasons to, basically to confuse you. Okay. I know what you're saying. It's like, how can I have all these unbiased views? I mean, I must have an agenda as well. Well, yeah, I'm in it for the money too, so I have a lot of, I've been taking on some advertisers, and here's a word from our sponsor right now. Thanks.
If you were to follow a busy doctor as he makes his daily round of calls, you'd find yourself having a mighty busy time keeping up with him. Time out for many men of medicine usually means just long enough to enjoy a cigarette. And because they know what a pleasure it is to smoke a mild, good-tasting cigarette, they're particular about the brand they choose. In a repeated national survey, doctors in all branches of medicine, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. Yes, according to this repeated nationwide survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Why not change to Camels for the next 30 days? And see what a difference it makes in your smoking enjoyment. See how Camels agree with your throat. See how mild and good tasting a cigarette can be.
I'd walk a mile for a Camel. I really would. Here's one of our PSAs that you may have missed.
Hello, America. This is Cheech.
This is John, man.
And we're Cheech and John together both.
Yeah.
And we want to urge you to go out and vote on Wednesday, November 4th, 2008 for the President of the United States.
Which is today.
Yeah.
So you don't have any more time, man. You have to get out there right now and vote.
Go to that thing that has a flag out there. Go in there and vote today because it's what?
You know the election was yesterday, Tuesday, November 4th? Tuesday.
Well, you said it was today, man.
I said November 4th, man. I looked on your calendar.
Oh, man, you shouldn't have looked at my calendar, man, because it's my own special calendar, man.
Okay. We moved up, America.
Vote in the next presidential election, okay?
2009. Big day. November 4th, 2009. Wonderful day.
He messed up, man. It was my fault. So who won?
Now back to our regularly scheduled show.
everybody knows that it makes no sense that you send a kid to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs, you gave them treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer, or an inhalator, not a breathalyzer. I haven't had much sleep in the last 48 hours, so. What they'll say is, well, it costs too much money. But you know what? It would cost about the same as what we would spend over the course of 10 years. It would cost what it would cost us. All right. Okay. We're going to. It would cost us about the same as it would cost for about. Hold on one second. I can't hear myself. But I'm glad you're fired up, though. I'm glad.
That's called working without the teleprompter. This is Glenn Beck, and he's talking to Ron Paul. It's basically about something called FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Association. You probably remember them from 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina, the fires in California 2 years ago. And there's this concern, and you could certainly see this all over the internet, about there being these camps where they're going to put people. For what reason is really varies depending on the site where you're seeing it. But mostly it's kind of like for their own protection kind of thing. So they're going to round people up and put them in these camps. Not really explained why, but they touch on it here. And this is about as mainstream as you'll ever see FEMA camps discussed. So check it out.
Joining me now is Congressman Ron Paul.
Hello, Congressman. How are you, sir?
Hello, Glenn. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you. First of all, on the FEMA prison thing, I know we've been in contact with your office, and we would appreciate any help that you have. I want to make sure we're turning over every stone on anything, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that is being said about these things, and I appreciate you talking to us, and we'll be in touch with you again, because I want to make sure that we have everything that you might be concerned with as well. Will you help us on that?
Yeah, I don't think all the answers are in. You're concerned that they might be setting up these camps that verge on concentration camp. There's no evidence that I can find that they're actually set up. But I think there's a justified concern, not just because of the legislation that has been proposed, because that piece of legislation doesn't have a lot of co-sponsors. It's not on the verge of being passed. But the atmosphere in Washington is what you have to be concerned about.
Yes.
You know, since 9/11, dealing with the Patriot Act and repealing the Posse Comitatus and the Insurrection Act, these are trends that are very, very bad, where personal liberties and civil liberties are not well protected. And FEMA is already very, very powerful, and they overrule when they go in on emergencies. So in some ways, they can accomplish what you might be thinking about setting up camps. And they don't necessarily have to have legislation, you know, to do the things that we dread. But it's something that's certainly deserves a lot of.
Well, that's it right there. He just laid it out for you on the line. There's an organization in the United States called the NSA. It was formed in 1947, National Security Association, and basically what it does is its only power is that it can usurp the Constitution whenever it feels that the national security is an issue, and that's based on the judgment of the National Security Council. Who's the National Security Council? Glad you asked. That is 4 people. That is the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of State, and the Secretary of Defense. So those people, well within laws that were passed over 60 years ago, have the power to usurp the Constitution. So there's always this debate, oh, you know, they're taking away our rights, this and that. Yeah, that happened a long time ago, so just kind of try to make the best of it and watch out. I think the FEMA thing is really in its infancy. I don't see it happening, you know, immediately, but basically what it is a way